Hey guys, and welcome to the Knights podcast. My name is Obelisk, and I'm here joined by Carol Kinney of Broadsword. She'll be joining me in the podcast. We'll be,
Hello.
chatting with you guys, and I don't really have any specific topic of discussion tonight. I have a couple things I would like to talk about for a little bit, but other than that, I'd rather just talk to you guys in the chat. So at any point in time, feel free to ask any questions or anything, any comments, concerns, or anything. Just list them in the Twitch chat, and maybe we can talk about some stuff. Maybe have some good discussion. Someone is challenging me to a duel, so accept his duel. But yeah, so welcome to the podcast. It's good to see you guys. It's been a while since I've done the podcast. It's probably been about a month, I think. We've kind of gotten some more nights involved with the podcast, which has been fun. But yeah, please change your font back to classic font. Is my font not classic font, Gooch? It should be classic. I'm gonna check it out real fast. My
Okay to me.
opinion on Thunderstorm, which is, if anyone doesn't know, it's the detente style for the Celtic dual line. I think the growth rate's the same as the level 34 style, which is about, I think, 0.8 if I remember correctly. The thing about Thunderstorm is it has a high defensive bonus, which is, I think, one of the only styles that has that with a pretty high growth rate. So you get a lot of people saying that Nightshades, Blade Masters, Rangers have an advantage. They probably do. I know there's some arguments for and against it, and the defensive bonus actually doesn't do as much as some people claim, and some people claim it's just the best thing ever. When I use it on my Ranger, I enjoy it. I think it, I don't know, it may make me, maybe a placebo type effect. I feel like I'm doing pretty well when I use it, but as far as if the defensive bonus actually gives you a big advantage, it's kind of hard because you don't want to just have everything mirrored. Some, weapon styles being unique is kind of cool. So I don't really know what my answer would be on that. I'm kind of indifferent about it. I think it's probably a good style, but whether it should be changed or not is another question. Let's see, classic. I use classic name font. Okay. Sometimes my user.bat file or whatever gets erased, and I have to go back in and reset all my keybinds and stuff and all my settings. And I guess I forgot that one last time. You want Exile Deceiver potions. What is an Exile Deceiver? I'm not sure I remember exactly what that is.
You know the mobs around the maze going towards Eris.
Oh, okay.
I always think they're a person whenever I'm going by.
Yeah,
They always
gotcha.
catch me.
Is double PVT going to be nerfed on Hib? I'm not sure about that. I know it's, like I said, about the Thunderstorm proc, it's kind of a unique thing to Hib. So it adds a little bit, it's not just everything's the same across the realms, but double PBT is very good, I think. It is very annoying if you're a tank running into a Hib group. You have to deal with two PBTs running from the same one class, one person. And if you guys don't know about double PBT on Hib, a Warden, they can cast their red PBT, or sorry, they can cast their yellow PBT, and then I think 8 seconds later, they can cast their red PBT and have both pulses up at the same time. So essentially, you have two PBTs running from the same class, which can be quite annoying to tanks fighting them. Jackson Town, yeah, Thunderstorm is the detente for Celtic Duel. And emo hacks, when you say top tier potions viable with high amounts of bounty points, do you mean the supremacy pots, the restoration pots, and all the new, I guess, otherworldly craftable pots?
Yeah, I'd say, or maybe the restoration or the Omni healed ones,
Yeah, all
Omni
those.
regens.
TVRs trolling me about Chelsea. Chelsea season, we're still in the Champions League, so happy about that.
I actually saw a funny picture about Chelsea earlier on, and I was going to show it to you, but I said I'd wait till after you did the podcast.
Yeah, probably don't want me crying on the podcast. Yeah, it cost. Yeah, he had a a kick out at Martin Skirtle this week, and it was kind of questionable. We determined you could absorb 8 hits in a row with proper twisting of double PVT when swinging with a 2.0 speed weapon. Yeah, I haven't tested that extensively, but that does sound pretty. Yeah, that's pretty rough. Not a big fan of that, honestly. Question about macro groups. I guess I'll touch it. I don't personally mind macro groups. When I do on my Bard Animus, when I see a macro team, I get pretty excited because I have a high chance of killing essentially a full group with the duo, and it's a lot of RPs for me. And they're usually pretty simple to kill. Sometimes they're a little bit tougher, but I don't know. I like farming them with my duo, so I kind of like them. As far as um, you know, whether they should be allowed or not, I don't know. That's kind of above my pay grade, I think, and I think you should probably, I don't know, if you're going to run them, be aware that you are possibly violating the TOS, and you should, I guess, run them at your own risk and be careful. But I don't have a answer for you about any official stance or anything like that. I'm just saying my own personal opinion. So, guild bounty points. I'm not exactly sure what you can do with guild bounty points. I think you can summon banners, right? Is that?
Yeah, and I think the XP and RP bonus.
Yeah, well, those are merit points, right?
Oh, merit, yeah.
Yeah, those are merits. I think you can buy banners with bounty points, guild bounty points. As far as anything else, I'm not exactly sure what you can do with those.
I think someone had an idea about what to do with the guild bounty points. Well, what would you do with guild bounty? Well, can't say it. Guild bounty points.
Well, I like the idea of banners. I think that the banner infrastructure was already in place. You don't see a lot of people using banners, I don't think. For the bonuses, maybe look at making the bonuses more useful, maybe. You don't want to make them overpowered or anything where they're going to change fights or anything, but guild bounty points are, I don't know, my guild, and it's mainly just me in my guild now. I have I think 3 million bounty points or something in my guild, so bounty points are easy to come by. So yeah, I'd like to look at maybe making the banners a little bit better for the group to use them and seeing more banners. Other than that, I'm not entirely sure, honestly, what you could do with those. Maybe some suggestions in chat. What you guys would do to use guild bounty points. And also to go back to what EmoHack said earlier about buying the higher tier potions with the high amount of bounty points. I heard a suggestion earlier in the week about maybe allowing people to buy new items with bounty points, like maybe some of the otherworldly stuff or DF stuff with a high amount of bounty points. That way, people that maybe don't want to PvE as much can spend some of their bounty points on new gear. Of course, I'm not saying make them like one item's worth like 1,500 bounty points. Maybe like one item is 15,000 bounty points, so they'd be pretty expensive. And also, if you do that, then you make
use them up so you won't flood
right.
the economy and stuff.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to make them cheap, I don't think, for bounty points. And bounty points are pretty easy to get with the new quests. And if you make the items viable through BPs, they'll also increase like people doing the rebel quests and stuff, which kind of helps action a little bit for solos and small mans. So I think that would help there too. it was an interesting idea, and I quite liked it. All right, I loaded up my
That'd be
ward.
cool if that you could do guild bounty points to do guild objectives or
Oh
guild
yeah,
raids. Like you can't get into a dungeon without so many guild bounty points, or like a guild if you're doing like a guild raid or something like that. I don't know.
right. Yeah, I'm not exactly sure. You know, a lot of people have better ideas than I do about ways to help out guilds and stuff. Because right now, I know an issue is we're getting close to from what Kevin said, the cap number of guilds you can have on their server or whatever. And you see a lot, like me, I have maybe 3 people in my guild. You see a lot of small like solo guilds, stuff like that, vanity guilds and whatnot. You don't see like a ton of big. You still see a couple big guilds, but you don't see like a ton of, you know, 30, 40 man guilds a lot anymore. It's all a bunch of smaller guilds, I feel like, which I guess necessarily isn't a terrible thing, but it's just different from how it was years ago. I swapped over to my Warden real quick just to show you guys the double PvT. I haven't played my Warden or used this ever in RVR. My Warden's been retired for quite a while, but as you can see here, try this over here. You start by casting your yellow PvT, and then that puts both PvTs on cooldown, but you just have to wait a little bit until you can cast then your PvT, and you saw it said I already had PvT up, which is true, but you see yellow ring in the background, now red is taking it over. Now I'll duel my Bard real fast. And you can just see him getting double PvT. See, there's one absorb, well, second attack hit. Hold on, let me get haste on my Bard. Already have haste, good. See, 2 attacks in a row absorbed by PvT right here. That's because the red twist, and then after the red one gets used up, the red PvT gets used up, the yellow one then cast. Whereas if you have one PvT up, I'll cancel my yellow one. I'll show you how that works. You see one attack absorbed, and the next attack, well, that gets absorbed too. It's kind of weird. I guess maybe my PvT was still up from the yellow one. Try it again. One attack absorbed, second attack hits. This next attack will probably be absorbed just because it's red PvT. But yeah, yellow PvT or double PvT can be quite annoying. Look back at the Twitch questions real fast. We had a question on any thoughts of relic reward / bonus changes, maybe something that could boost the motivation to attack and defend. Yeah, I've got no really
Well,
real.
1.119 is gonna have some changes to our hard or easy, rather. It's going to be
Okay, cool.
to take a relic because they are way too easy to take at the moment. So
Yeah.
it's part of it. I mean, it's a big update, but relic changes are included.
That's good. Yeah, but will that necessarily incentivize people to attack or defend them?
I think it might give more time to get
Right.
there to defend.
That's good.
I don't think. I don't know rather if the difficulty of keeps is being changed. Just that I don't know all the details, but making relics harder to take. Additional keeps in order to open the gates, supply lines. Excuse me, sorry, all that jazz.
Okay, that's good. Yeah, I'm not a big relic taker / defender. But yeah, I'd imagine if it takes longer to take a relic, then it gives defending realms more time to get in place to defend. Which would, I guess, I don't know, maybe people aren't able to get in place to defend fast enough nowadays. I'm not exactly sure. It's not really my specialty. But as far as incentives, the only thing I can think of really is RPs, like the keep take RPs for defense that you get, or for actually taking a keep, you get a little bit of bonus RPs. That's the only thing I could really think of off the top of my head quickly that you could do. Like if you successfully defended a keep, obviously you get realm points, but if you defended an attack on your relic town or something, you get a nice bonus of RPs, or if you're able to actually capture the relic and take it from their relic town and then actually take it, return it back to your relic town or relic keep, get a little bonus of RPs.
Yeah, it's something for all the work you just did.
Yeah. I'm not sure exactly what thread you're talking about for the trade skills, but I'll look it up later.
Legacy of Torque bingo community. There's a lot of big guilds that will recruit. I don't know what realm you're on. You didn't say, but I know Jerry's Kids Unmade will help. Dark Knights of Camelot on Alb, and I think it's Chillstown on Hib. Nevermore, I think, is another one on Mid. There is a lot, yeah. If you just keep an eye on region, because they're usually always talking, and join the battle groups and just find out who they are. Just say you're looking for a guild and you'll get an invite.
Yeah, Chillstown's I play Hib a lot primarily recently, but I see a lot of those guys running around. They seem like a pretty big guild, and they seem pretty friendly and willing to take on people. So maybe look them up if you're a Hib. Reading through the questions again real quick.
Oh, Aftermath and Mid also as well. Yeah, actually, what I'm actually going to do is someone on Facebook asked me this yesterday as well. So what I might do tomorrow for the Facebook post is make it about guilds recruiting and what realms, just so there is a place where people can post about their guild if they want to recruit anyone or advertise themselves a little, just so help anyone that is looking for guild.
Also had a question about Zephyr immunity. Says, why hasn't Zephyr immunity been fixed? At the moment, you can get Zephyred every 5 to 10 seconds or even less. And yeah, I think the Zephyr immunity timer is a little bit weird right now. Maybe a little buggy, I'm not sure. But the way that I understand that it works is as soon as you get Zephyr casted on you, even if the Zephyr is like 1,000 units away or whatever the max range for Zephyr is, once it's cast on you, you immediately get the Zephyr immunity, and then it starts ticking down from there. I still think it's like, what, 45 seconds, if I'm not mistaken. But so as soon as the Zephyr's cast on you, not necessarily when it hits you, that's when your immunity timer starts. And say it takes like 5 seconds for the Zephyr to actually get to you if it's a long way away. That's 5 seconds eaten into your Zephyr immunity timer, and then you ride the Zephyr for like, what, 8 to 10 seconds or whatever. So that's another big chunk of your immunity timer taken out of that. And sometimes if you're running away, the Zephyr takes quite a long time to get to you. Like you can almost outrun some Zephyrs, outrun for about 10-15 seconds. So that's a lot of time taken out of the immunity timer there. It'd be nice if once you actually got out of the Zephyr, that's when your immunity timer started. Sort of like Meta, Stun, Root, any other CC that gives immunity. The immunity timer starts when you come out of the effect. It'd probably be nice if they could do that. I'm not sure if they can code it that way easily or not, but yeah, Zephyr does seem kind of, Zephyr immunity anyway seems kind of weird sometimes. Like sometimes you're immune for a good amount of time, and sometimes you're immune for, like you said, 5 to 10 seconds after you get out of Zephyr, which can be annoying.
Yeah, learn something new every day. I didn't know that.
Yeah. Someone asks, when is Essence Flare going to be reduced? 30 minutes is too long for purgeable mez, and I definitely agree with that. I'd like to see Essence Flare at maybe 10, 7.5, 5 minutes. I don't know, a low reuse timer. The way the game is now, 30 minutes for any sort of timer is really, really long, and it's a really short duration mez. You have to actually hit it with a weapon and apply it by hitting someone. So it's not like a Minstrel rank 5 where you just press your Minstrel rank 5 button and then it's an instant PB mez. And that's only a 5-minute timer. It's a little longer, I think. But yeah, I'd definitely like to see Essence Flare reduced to not a super low reuse timer, but a pretty low, like a sub 10-minute timer. 10-minute at most, in my opinion. Especially considering, you know, you can go Purge 3 now and have a 10-minute reuse timer Purge. Whereas back in the day, when you spent 15 realm skill points on Purge, it was still a 15-minute timer. It was just instant at that point. That was back when we only had 3 tiers of active RAs. The game's changed a lot, so I'd like to see that ability kind of evolve with the game.
Yeah, that's part of Master Level 9, isn't it?
Yeah, it's ML8 or ML9 for Spy Master.
Yeah, and I would think that they all would eventually get a review anyway.
Yeah, I'd hope so. That'd be nice. Do you know if there's any plans to review MLs as a whole coming up, or is that kind of maybe, would that come maybe with the balance patch?
Heard it mentioned, but it's, I would reckon, no timeline or dates or anything like that for you. But that and for artifacts as well. But the thing with artifacts is the encounters to get them would need to be redone, and there's just enough PvE at the moment really to want to overload it.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you there. And that's something that I've been talking about with some people, is the frequency of PvE that's been released. Maybe, you know, we're pretty good for it now. We had 2 big campaigns released this year, the Darkness Falls campaign, and then more recently it's still going on, the Otherworlds campaign. It'd probably be nice to...
well, DF was last year.
Oh, was it? I thought, oh, I guess it was last year. I can't remember the exact date.
December 4th, like just last year, but it was still last year.
Yeah. Alright, yeah. Well, the very end of last year, early this year. Someone asked, or said, I watched a Reaver video, any tips for soloing and where to go? How do you dodge full groups and choose your fights? Well, that Reaver video is a few months old now. I haven't soloed in the last month or 2. But I'd imagine action's still pretty similar to when I soloed in my Reaver a few months back. But what I did was I usually played later US time, so there was a little bit less action than, say, if I went out now. So it was a little easier to dodge higher numbers. As with any video, you know, you cut out select, you add select fights, and you find, you know, I'm not going to put the 20 billion times I get ran down by a full group or a 6-man or anything like that in the video, but it definitely happens, and there's really no way to avoid it every time. But what I did is I kind of hid around the ruined keeps, sort of hiding and hiding in the corners and stuff out of sight, kind of like, you know, with the old bridges, you can kind of hide in those. So I'd kind of utilize the ruined keep to kind of hide. When I see a group coming, I'd just duck and cover and hope they pass and didn't see me. The addition of speed 6 on horses has also been really, really nice for, I think, soloers that don't have speed 6. Because when I'm running around, you know, E-main, for example, and I see a full group chasing me on speed 6, I can outrun them. Of course, if they get in range for any sort of insta or casted spell, then I'm in trouble, but that definitely helps a ton. But yeah, mazes seem like a good place to go solo. Ruin keeps, if the population at that point in time is not super high, is usually a good place to go. If you're a Hib, or sorry, an Alb or mid, I'll actually show you a cool place I like to hang out. I usually, on my Reaver, I hung out here a lot, down in this little bowl area by Krim. And this hill kind of gave you some cover. It's a nice hill line right here that you can kind of peek over and see if anything's running out. If someone spots you, it gives you usually enough time to dart down towards Hib Maze, so it was a nice place to go and solo. And back when I was soloing, a lot of people were running down to Maze, a lot of solos and whatnot, to get the rubble and supplies and stuff for the supplies quest. So I was able to, you know, kill some of them and I think there's a couple doppels around along this way, and some people would still go for doppels and whatnot. So it was a good place to farm. But as far as not dying to full groups and all, it's definitely going to happen. It's just part of the solo or small man game. But you can always reduce your risk, I guess. But you'll never fully eliminate it, I don't think. Someone asked, does the Otherworld event content, is it going to disappear or stay in game after Chapter 10? From what I understand, and I think I'm right here, it'll stay in game permanently. So 5 years down the line, you'll still be able to run through the Otherworld's quest. Even after Chapter 10 is done, it's just going to be a permanent addition to the game. It's not a temporary campaign or anything like that. It's sort of like, think of the Dragon campaign, maybe. Or maybe the DF campaign. Although they weren't implemented in stages or chapters like this was, but they were permanent campaigns that were added. Someone asked when the healer pack DD proc's gonna work in PvP, and I don't know if that's ever gonna happen. Any more questions or anything, guys? When will DAOC be free to play? Yeah, I don't know. It seems like a game that possibly could go free to play after some work. Obviously, to set up some sort of way for them to get some revenue. I don't know if there's any plans or not to go free to play anytime soon, but I always think it could happen. Obviously, DAOC's a business. It's an asset to a business. It's a way a business makes money. So you have to have revenue. Just got to make sure you can get that revenue. If you make the game free to play, you don't want to make it free to play and then have no one buy whatever you're offering. So I don't know a ton about the free to play model. I've never really played a free to play game. What's being done about players that glitch inside CK walls and DF walls? I know this thanks to a third-party program. There's a well-known rank 12 minstrel that does this. Yeah, I have no clue exactly how people get into walls. You see it sometimes, like, if you're in the rune keep, people can just like kind of, I don't know if they're lagging into it or if there's something that's allowing them, a program allowing them to do that. I'm pretty ignorant on that, but I definitely do see it sometimes, and it's very annoying. I'd imagine it's hard to catch for the CSR team, and I don't know anything about that. I don't know if Bevan has any knowledge about that or not, but
well, seeing him is handy. Otherwise, everybody would just accuse everyone
right,
else, and
yeah,
then nobody would be playing the game anymore.
yeah. I know I've appealed a couple people that do it.
They
but
just have to make sure that it's, right.
right,
Of what they're going to do. That they're not just bad blood between people and doing it. So it has to be right.
right. It's like I said. I think it's hard to catch, like, 'cause you see it done and then you appeal it after the fact. I guess the only way to really catch them is if they do it again when the CSR is watching, which I don't know. It's kind of hard to, I guess, prove unless you're there at the moment. But yeah, it's definitely annoying, and I've appealed it a few times, but there's not much a CSR can do, I guess, without seeing it at the time it's done.
Yeah, just because if you appeal it, they're not just going to look then and say, oh, no, tough.
Right.
They'll open an investigation and go from there. It's not just they look, and if he's not doing it so well and they move on, there will be an open investigation, like so.
Okay. So is there like
if you
data
see
they can
them,
go back and look at?
do appeal them. I'm not entirely too sure. Like I generally don't know because I don't have access to
Right.
any CSR stuff, or I'd have way too much fun.
Would you take a recording if I caught it? Someone asked. Like, say someone doing it.
Recordings can be edited. That's the only issue.
Right. Yeah, Smaker. I've also been Zephyred into walls, or like also the end of bridges and stuff like that. That's sort of a, I guess, an unfortunate side effect. It's not really you're intentionally exploiting or anything like that. You're just kind of being taken into a part of the game that you're not supposed to be. But there are definitely some people that do it intentionally. I know you used to could lag into like tower doors. There's a way you could essentially just run at an angle and go through a tower door. That was fixed quite a while ago. It's been years now. So I don't know if there's a similar fix you could do around like the center keeps and the rune keep and whatnot to stop that. But it was definitely some editing of the geometry, I believe, is what happened with that years ago. TVR has a question about what kind of stuff can we expect in the new Herald. I haven't seen the new Herald myself. I've
Oh,
seen a preview, but maybe Beeb can fill
yeah.
us in.
Yeah, I have, and the preview. But well, we do have the item database that'll be coming. I don't know if that's going to be out with the first one, but it's definitely coming and in process. The top 10 leaderboards, I'm not sure if it's 10 or 20, it's at least 10 anyway. Leaderboards, the relics, the keep status. If you see the last newsletter, it has a preview of it. So you can get the server, guilds information, all this the good stuff that used to be on the old Herald way back when. That's all coming back.
Great, it's good to see. And the item database, I guess, is going to be a complete database. Is it going to be downloadable,
Yeah,
do you think?
and it's gonna pull from the game. It's gonna be downloadable.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow, that's awesome.
Um. Yeah, it's gonna be really good. The only thing is, I think the format of it. I don't think it's going to be in XML. So. I don't know how that's going to work with it. Spellcraft programs or what the story with that is.
Do you know what format it's going to be in? Is it a text type format or? Because I know Loki, one spellcrafting calculator,
Let's see.
you can import through a text document. You can import items and add them to your own database. Sorry, question am I dodging? Are they going to fix spell effects not showing on yourself after a while? Oh, yeah, that's an annoying thing. I don't know exactly what causes it. When you cast too many spells, at that point you cease to see spells on yourself. I know when I'm playing, or I used to play Sork, that would happen to me a lot, and I was always casting debuffs and whatnot. So I didn't know if it was from an overcast or overuse of, I guess, casting too many spells, if that was what caused it. On tanks, I usually always see spell effects on me. But yeah, do you know anything about that, Carol? About after a while, if you're logged in for a while, spell effects don't show up on you?
No, I didn't know that.
Oh, okay.
I've never come across it,
Right.
rather. There is some questions that, while Obi is all knowledgeable and excellent, are dev related. That you could, on the front page of the Herald, the last news post we did last week has a few links. We'll be doing a dev Q&A on November 15th at this time for the podcast at 8 p.m. EST. And the news post has all the links on how to get in your questions. You can send them in through the form on the Herald, or there's a thread on post count that you can get it in. Yep, that's the one. Thank you, Ubi. My handy sidekick. And yeah, so if there's some really dev kind of really ones, get them in there and tune in on the night then as well.
Yeah, questions like that will be great for that. Are they going to remove the timers from using celerity, restoration, and supremacy pots?
That's like the 30 seconds or
Yeah,
25
I think
seconds
it's
or something like that, isn't it, after a pot?
30
I don't
seconds.
think so. I think that's one of the parts of using the
Hmm.
pots. For now, anyway, no, I don't think so.
Yeah. I personally don't mind that. I know when I'm playing Animist, when I'm playing Bard Animist Duo with my friend, he reses me. I don't want to be able, I mean, I want to be able to, but I don't think it'd be a good thing if I was able to immediately cast a Restoration Pot and then Supremacy Pot and be good to go instantly after a res. I think there should be like a 30-second timer, or at least a minute timer, something, some sort of timer, to
Yeah, it
sort
does.
of.
Me, you, like if you die, we are like when I die, if I use if I don't stop pot and I use a hero pot, try to use a mana pot and end pot after that, there is a timer. I think if you had a full bar of pots and you could just click, click, click and activate them all after dying, I think that kind of takes a lot of the penalty of dying away.
Right. I definitely agree there. Yeah, Restoration's 1 minute. And I think Supremacy is 30 seconds because I've gotten into the habit of I used to use my Restoration first when I died, then pop a Supremacy Pot, but there's a 1 minute reuse or item timer on the Restoration, so I use my Supremacy first now. So I only have to use a 30-second or wait 30 seconds to pop the Restoration. Yeah, maybe the Celerity Pots. I don't know. Those are a less like active or less like used, I guess, potion in combat or in a fight type of thing. Maybe make those if that's a big issue, like a 5 second reuse or something, similar to the regen pots. I don't know, but I definitely think the
I mean, take
supremacy.
them off from being a top tier kind of pot thing.
Yeah, maybe, or maybe just put them on the same item timer as like a strong drought and invigoration, which is 5 second item timer, like a drought of mending, which is also 5 seconds, I think. But I definitely think these supremacy and restoration should have longer timers. Personally, I'm not a huge fan of either potion, or the supremacy or the restoration. Supremacy pots are just, I mean, they kind of take away some of the stuff that buffing classes can do, and I don't know. I'm not a big fan of just hitting one button, hitting a potion button, and having full buffs in a fight. But
Yeah, it does hit buff classes, like
yeah, it definitely
shamans, I think.
hurts. Yeah, and shamans were kind of in a rough spot anyway, as far as the utility in groups, and that's something we've talked about a long, like a year ago, I think, when we first started the podcast. Or 6 months ago, I can't remember when we first started the podcast. Shamans were a big discussion point, and they kind of still are, in my opinion. But kind of tired of talking about them.
Yeah, that and assassins, but yeah, shamans especially. Dance used to be great fun. You'd have a cape and you'd just have a cab duck his head out and he would just dot everything and run back in and you'd rake in the RPs.
Yeah, I remember for a while though, the big thing was for people to like try to leech RPs off of Zergs and just go AoE dot spec. I think that kind of died out after a while though. I think that was close to when dots were changed to tick more frequently, I think.
Oh, they should bring back the bomb groups.
Yeah, I hadn't seen a ton of bomb. It's just so hard to fight Zergs nowadays, even with the bomb group. I mean it's kind of doable, but you know, 4 or 5 years ago it was a lot easier. Just feel like everyone in the Zerg is just harder to kill and has more stuff to blow and is more willing to blow it now. I know when I duo, when we met as like a full group or a Zerg, you always see about 20% of them instantly purge without even thinking about it. It's kind of crazy. Like, I think it was a week or two ago, we were getting Zerg down by Clumsy, and I was at like 20% on the Animus, and I quick casted a root on Clumsy, and he just immediately purged it. It was like I was the only one alive, and there were like, I think, 15 other mids around. Just people don't hold back, I guess, anymore.
Give shamans PBT. That's a nice suggestion.
That could be interesting. Has Warlock dot been nerfed as well? I don't know if it's been nerfed. Don't know what state it has been nerfed from, but I mean it's. I don't know if a lot of Warlocks go the dot spec anymore. I think back in the day, like the first version of Warlocks, they got pretty much all of their damage spells in the same spec line. They get their life tap, their P-Bay, their bolt, and their dot in the same spec line. But I can't remember what spec the dot spec is off the top of my head. I don't know if that's a popular spec or not. Are all realms fairly balanced, or is there one that's still overpopulated? As far as realm population numbers, I'm not really sure on that. Also, I guess depends on what time of day you play. I know during Euro time, if Hororius is on, the Hibs kind of just take out everything. There's one big Hororius Hibzerg, and you just do whatever they want. But right now, as you can see, the realm map, it's probably like close to US Prime now. Mids have just totally destroyed Hib. Hibs only own like 2 keeps other than the portal keep, so I don't know exactly the population numbers, the general population numbers. My thoughts on Paladins getting Stoicism. I don't think it's a great idea. Honestly, there are way too many classes out there now. There's way too much CC mitigation and anti-CC stuff in the game right now. That CC's, I mean, it's still very useful and all, but it's definitely not as useful as it used to be. To add more CC mitigation to more classes is kind of, I don't know, it's not something I really want to see, honestly. Some classes, of course, they don't really get groups because they are such CC liabilities, and Paladins may be one of those classes. I still think Paladins are okay and have a decent place in group at the moment, but you see classes like Scalds and Reavers and stuff like that that really kind of get pushed aside just because they sit out so much CC. And the way to fix that is to make them less CCable. But when you're doing that, you're kind of taking away one of the great things about DAOC, which is CC, in my opinion. Should classes like Savages lose Stoicism? You know, it's kind of hard because, like I said, if you take away someone's CC mitigation, that makes them a lot less usable in groups. But it's kind of like the same argument for, well, why wouldn't you just give Paladin Stoicism? Because that'd make them more useful in group. So as far as removing Stoicism from Savage, I probably wouldn't be totally against it. I wouldn't say I would be for it though, but I think Savages are pretty strong though regardless. They're super high damage, probably the highest damage melee class overall, probably. Maulers hit very hard, but I think Savage is consistently higher. But also they have charge, but I don't know. Savages definitely have some drawbacks. They're pretty easy to kill from a caster point of view. They have no... it's not like they have a ton of hit points or a ton of magic resist or anything like that. So you could nuke a Savage down pretty easy. As far as taking Stoicism away from him, kind of indifferent, I guess. Has there been any talk about rewarding solo play? You know, the pain ring solo and trying to get a fight. As far as any plans, I'm not sure.
I hadn't heard, but that doesn't mean that there isn't either.
Right. And also keep in mind that Agramon is going to be drastically changed sometime, I guess, is it the end of November when Chapter 10 of the Aggro change is coming? Carol?
About mid.
Okay, so a couple weeks, hopefully. But we'll see how that affects action, because that should have a pretty sizable effect on how people RVR, I'd imagine. At least that's probably the goal. So I'd like to see how that affects solo RVR. One of the big things to me about solo RVR is people not being worth realm points, but that kind of affects any type of RVR. especially if you're flying around like the border keeps and stuff. Action's a little bit quicker now, and you get a lot more people that
I
aren't
think
worth.
the new thing has something for everyone.
Yeah.
That kind of way, no one ignored.
Hmm. And also, as far as the new
But
aggro
yeah.
changes, keep an eye out this week for some announcements on it. Maybe some sort of teaser about the new Agrabah. So yeah, keep an eye out on the Herald this coming week. Hopefully, we'll
Definitely.
get to see something, some more information. And there's also a newsletter going out tomorrow, I believe. So hopefully that will have some cool stuff in it as well.
I've seen loads of mid maulers.
Yeah, that's all I play on mid nowadays is my Mauler. If I get invited to a mid group, I say I'm playing Mauler. That's it. But yeah,
Pure Stranger, it's a complete revamp. It's not just for bridges.
someone has a comment about I don't understand roaring solo play. The game is meant to be large battle RVR, and I kind of agree with that to an extent. I think all playstyles have a place in Dark Age, though. It's the cool thing about Dark Age is you can run around in a massive Zerg, or you can run around solo, and it's while I don't think it should be about any one playstyle, I think it's kind of smart to keep all playstyles in mind when making changes because the solo player base is, I mean, they do exist, and there are a lot of people that like that, as well as there's a ton of people that like to Zerg and a lot of people that like to Aviate and Swamp and stuff like that. There's a lot of diverse playstyles and a lot of people that play in each of those playstyles. So I think you kind of have to keep them all in mind when you're making changes. Are there really only 4 Maulers in mid right now at 50? I think there's only 3 level 50 Maulers on Hib, so maybe the class needs a buff, I don't know. I definitely don't think Maulers need a buff in any sense, by the way.
They're all in on.
Yeah, they're all in on. I don't know, I think Maulers are great in groups and solo and stuff. Small man.
Oh, I do. So see the stream of people that would stream group RVR. They always seem to have a motor.
Yeah, Maulers are great. I love Mauler. I played one of my friend's Maulers to rank 9 in a duo, and then I played my Mauler to almost rank 8 in just groups and stuff, and man, that class is so much fun. It's a blast. I mean, it's not completely overpowered in a group setting because it definitely has weaknesses. Any sort of peeler absolutely destroys it. It doesn't have a ton of hit points. I think it has around 2,600 hit points with a decent template. But man, that class can hit so hard, and it has some damage mitigation that's pretty good. And the roots stuff with mag spec. I think Maulers are also, I mean, yeah, they're great in tank groups. I think they have a really good place in hybrid groups. That's when I love playing mine, is in like a 3 caster or 2 tank group. And then solo Maulers, they have a solo spec that just makes them impossible to kill almost.
Well, I would be in game and I'd see someone fighting and I'd be like, oh, especially if they're in costumes, then I do like, oh, what class were they? 'Cause you can't make out what class the zombie is. Um, and I just do who his name, it just comes up Mauler, and I'm like, oh, that doesn't help.
It doesn't help.
I didn't know we were wrong.
Yeah, I've had a lot of fights with these Halloween costumes that a lot of people are just running at me and have no clue at all what's happening. It's just a bunch of people in
They're
shifty
so
costumes.
fun. the other last night when I was streaming and this group of dwarfs were fighting a group of elves, um, and I thought it was mids, and then they were attacking a mid tower. It was around a mid tower, and then they started attacking the mid tower. I was like, what? They were a group of hips, all as dwarfs.
It's
I had
definitely
to
been
turn
crazy.
names on for my
Yeah,
stream last night, so I'd know
definitely.
who was who.
Right. I have a question. Would you run a Mauler over ABM, Zerk, or Merc in a hybrid? Um, Honestly, I like a Mauler with one of those, and maybe an Alp group, like an Arms and Mauler push team. But on mid, which is primarily where I play mine in a full group, I like running Mauler Zerk. And you kind of run the Mauler in place of in a traditional, like I guess three caster two tank hybrid. I guess most mid groups run a Zerk Valk or a Zerk Savage maybe. And I kind of like running Mauler Zerk because the Zerk gives you the pet procs, the charge, the Bane Lords, and whatnot. But the Mauler gives you survivability up front. It can make the Zerk really hard to kill with the absorb buff. It can make itself hard to kill with the absorb buff. Has a lot of damage. The roots are really good. So that's what I kind of like doing is running it with one of the hybrid, or sorry, not hybrid, but one of the light tanks. Um, as far as if I were to do it on Hib, um, I'd probably want to keep the Blade Master. Champs are pretty good and all, but the issue with champs is they get CC'd out pretty easily if you're, especially if you're like pulling a group and you get CC'd and left. That's really dangerous on the class that doesn't have stoicism. But that's one of the drawbacks to running a champ. Other than that, they're pretty solid. But I kind of like light tank and Mauler. Or heavy tank and Mauler is kind of cool too, maybe on Alb. Do you feel siege weapons are in a good place right now? I've seen Alps using catapults many times now to blow up keeps, making it impossible to stay inside and defend. The attackers overall have too much of an advantage, in my opinion. Um, Honestly, I don't really take part in the siege warfare part of the game. It's just not really my playstyle, I guess. That's something I take part in a lot. So I don't have a good opinion on that. But yeah, I don't know. Don't know what to say
Well, I
about that.
think every realm has access to the same stuff, and I mean, it's not an alb thing or a hip thing or a mid thing. They're all there. You can all do it.
Hmm.
I think sometimes because albs have more numbers, sometimes, that it makes it seem like siege is overpowered, but I don't think that is it.
Right. I mean, if you do come to the conclusion that siege is overpowered and it gives attackers too good an advantage, I guess you could try to either one lower the effectiveness of siege or maybe put some anti-siege.
Well, I would. Well, what all that does is then is hurt the realm with the lower numbers in trying to siege. Maybe if anything, and I haven't heard about any exact details or anything to do with siege, is lower the amount that can be placed within a radius. So you can't have like 20 trebs in one spot, kind of
Right.
thing.
Yeah, that could be a good idea. Yeah.
Now, I just rolled a Turk and she just hit 50 and I got her all her MLs and CLs and everything, so no, they shouldn't get a nerf.
Oh, third nerf question. Oh yeah, no third nerfs. As far as the thirds need nerfs, I don't know. Thirds are definitely great for the ob groups and stuff, whether they need a nerf or not. I just worry if you nerf a class, you run the risk of nerfing it too hard and making it just bad. I mean, look at Warlocks, for example. Other classes have been nerfed in the past. Um, as far as if a third dies, should all their pets die? I mean, that could be a reasonable thing, I think. It wouldn't have too big of an impact, but would definitely tone thirds down a little bit. But
But I mean, like for the 5v5 event we had in August, I think like the one big thing that people were asking is, are Thurgists allowed? And no class was forbidden, like so there were, but I think only one group had a Thurgist
I think
in
there
the
were
end, like.
two or three that had Thurgist. I think the two French teams had a Thurg, and I think I think it was the Amadora Rehnquist group may have had a Thurg, if I remember correctly. I think the Rehnquist Thurg was the Earth Thurg, and the two French Thurgs were air.
Ah, alright. But that's, I think everyone expected everyone to
Yeah,
do it.
I figured that
Like,
every group would have a
I've
Thurg.
barred 4 Turks.
Right. But obviously the French group with the Thurg won, so I mean, like, kind of. Maybe other people just made mistakes not running it. I don't know. But I think Thurgs are definitely powerful. But I don't know. I don't know. I think if you made Thurg pets only 1500 range, I'm not a big fan of that personally. I like the range advantage that Thurgs have to an extent. I'm kind of glad they nerfed it from 2000 range to 1850 or 1875, whatever it is. But I don't think I'd like to see it at 1500. I used to think that letting like a healer or a bard or something AoE most Thurg pets, like make Thurg pets not CC immune, would be a good idea. And right now I'm kind of indifferent on that idea. I'm not like against it or for it anymore. But I think Thurgs are they're okay, but I mean they're definitely good, but as far as being like grossly overpowered, I'm not sure. Because
Could we
Thurgs
just
can...
down to
Go ahead.
the scenario that the Turgis is in? You know, like Turgis and Zerg,
Mm-hmm.
are they as much trouble as they are in AVH or
Like
Solo?
seriously, I think the lower numbers, like in Zerg Warfare, I'm not, like I said, like with the siege stuff, that's not really my thing. But I imagine Thurg pets aren't as big of a deal because there's just so much more stuff going on that one or two or four Thurg pets aren't going to make a huge difference in like a massive Zerg fight. But in an AV8 fight, if the Thurg can like get open and pet like 4 people pretty well, then that it's half your group petted and unable to cast. The smaller you go, I think the more effective the Thurg comes to an extent.
Yeah, there's a lot of thought that needs to go into um, changes because it's not just a one perspective kind of thing because everything in the game is linked to everything else.
Right. And someone mentioned maybe an immunity timer on the air Thurg pets, and I'm not a big fan of air Thurg pets as far as balance, I guess. I mean, they're great and everything to an extent, but I hate when I'm on Bard and I just get like 5 air pets on me and I can't move at all. I'm not a big fan of that, honestly. And maybe some sort of like small immunity timers could be interesting, to where you can't get chain stunned like forever. Like maybe like a 30-second immunity before you can get stunned again from the Thurg pet would be interesting to see. And someone made that comment in the Twitch chat. Someone had a comment about making like putting a timer on how often you can go through doors, like maybe the postern doors at the Ruin Keep. And I mean, I'm not.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
Aisling is right. They're not exactly doors. It's art, so there isn't a. It's not an actual door.
right. Yeah, I don't know how that works from a like coding or. Um, I came up on a LDing person. See if I can kill him on my Bard. I don't think I will be able to. But yeah, I've heard a lot of people complain about that. Personally, it doesn't really bother me when I'm soloing and stuff. God. Having to find arms into my Bard. Sorry, a little distracted.
That's okay.
Oh no, his friend logged in.
Run. It's so funny to say Tomte get chased by Venda.
Run away. Oh no, he diseased me.
There you go.
Oh no, I got stunned. I'm so bad.
No, he got mob aggro.
Yeah, I got Malbeggar too. I should be okay here. At least to live. I don't know if I'll be able to kill him or not.
Take the PvE, dead.
I'm going for a kill here. Oh no, his friend's coming back in. Okay, his friend's best. He's best. Okay, I can do this.
I've been taking screenshots all day from my solo. Oh, when I do screenshots of solo and small man on Facebook, but none of it's going to make any sense because it's all zombies and trees
Right.
and stuff.
Oh, I have someone helping me.
Oh, you have help.
Oh well. Kinda wanted to see if I can kill him myself. Oh well. Maybe I can kill his paladin friend myself. Oh, that's a lot of mids. I think.
Oh, right, okay.
Oh, it's Nate Brunner. I can't die to Nate Brunner on stream. No!
Run, or you're going to be a screenshot.
Never. Okay. Here we go.
Yeah, he got me last week on my NS.
Oh man. Definitely gonna be a screenshot here. Bye bye. Is that a donkey?
There's the
wonder-
screenshot.
I wonder if Piggy or Nate Brunner is gonna screenshot me. Can't wait to see. Odin wills it. Oh well. I don't think I can
You
kill
got
that
a few
trio with my
ways.
bard. Anyway, back to the question. Sorry, that was a long distraction from trying to kill those albs. Dying to
That
Nate
was
Brunner.
fun. Best is dying to Nate at the end.
Yeah, no. See, let me scroll through the questions real quick. Nate Brunner strikes again.
I think you got stream sniped.
Maybe, that'll be alright. Not too worried about it. Delete that character now. I think this character has a few death blows on Nate Brunner, so I'm not too worried about it. I know one night we did the draft thing and he came out in his, I think, Shadowblade and added on the fight a couple times, and I think I got like 4 death blows on his Shadowblade that night. Lord of the Realms, whatever it's called. This is Exhibit A for why all or why all arms and suspect for snapshot. Yeah, definitely. Especially like that guy was like rank 9. He definitely should have had snapshot at that rank. Snapshot's really really good, I think. Even in like an 8v8 setting, just being able to run around and like interrupt stuff is great. In that situation for him, he would have just killed me with snapshot because his crossbow bolts hit pretty hard. Yeah, that was actually Alb
Yeah,
duos
that
of
was
Paladin
totally
arms.
the best part of the stream.
Alright, well, any more questions,
Yeah,
guys?
they were around some maze for most of the evening, I think.
Yeah. I'm gonna go fight that Paladin that I mezzed out. That's what I wanted to do, but then Nate Bruin came and ruined my day.
Make a group and go and get him.
Oh, he's still around. Oh, he's back there. I see him. Oh, he's okay. I'm res sick. That's not good. Probably catch me. He's back there by the keep by Chrome, I think. I'll just gate back instead of having to run back through him. You can find my Thane inside the maze. I think a Thane would absolutely destroy my Bard solo. Like I can kind of arms in and out like pretty much all day, or a Paladin or something like that. But a Thane would just, I'd go splat and die. I think.
Oh my god, I'm gonna go log into my Thane.
No, I'm hiding inside the keep all night now. Nate Bruner's locking me in. Are they going to remove the bolts needed for crossbow, like for archers? I'd imagine probably not. I don't know anything about it though, but when archery didn't require arrows anymore, that was because the entire archery system got revamped. And I don't see like a crossbow or throwing axe or short bow revamp coming anytime soon. So you'll probably still have to buy arrows for a while. I could be wrong though, but it's just my opinion. Yeah, melee things still probably rip me up. You just doomhammer me to death as I kite you. I think I'm gonna dodge. Show my true colors. I'd like to fight Nate Burner solo, maybe. I think I could kill him solo, 1v1.
Do you want to? You should put some plat on that challenge him on post count.
Well, I'm not that confident. I just think I might could. Gotta live through a couple charges, which would be fun, but if I could get space, I think I'd be alright.
Odin willed it.
Alright, guys. Well, I think I'm gonna wrap it up soon. If you guys have any last minute questions or anything, or comments or things you want me to talk about, let me know. But if not, I'll probably close down the stream in a few minutes here. Maybe go get some dinner and whatnot. Also, just one quick announcement. I said it earlier in the stream, but keep an eye out on the Herald, maybe for some updates for the Agramon changes this coming week. There's a newsletter coming out tomorrow, I believe, and also Kuji and I, mainly Kuji, we're kind of putting on an 8v8 tournament. We hope to kind of do a little test run soon, so stay tuned for some information on that. We'll have a website you can sign up your group on stuff and some more information when the time comes. We're still sorting out some details, but it should be fun maybe. I think it'll be fun. I think it'll be good. Yeah, we're just still sorting out some things, and we'll see.
Very interesting.
the broadsword team's just been really busy over the last couple weeks, trying to get everything ready to go for the Agramon changes, which should be awesome. I'm really looking forward to them. I haven't really been able to see a real picture of the Agramon or anything, but hopefully this week I'll be able to finally see it, and hopefully it comes to Pendragon soon, so I can actually run around on it on Pendragon. That should be fun. Looking forward to that, seeing how it'll play and whatnot. But yeah, all right, guys.
I think we have a couple of the Zergs from Albin Mid lined up to come over and do some stuff
Oh, really?
when
That's
we get
awesome.
to the Penn stage stuff. Yeah, Lovely and Smeagol are arranging peeps from
Oh,
both
that's
their
great.
sides to come over at the same time and go toe to toe.
That's awesome. House solo action was Zergy a little while ago. As far as like at the moment, or like when you say a little while ago, like a couple hours ago, or like a couple months ago. But I don't know. Haven't really soloed tonight much. I just ran down towards Hit Maze a second ago, and it seemed okay. There was a Paladin Armsman duo and a Nate Bruner trio. But as far as in general, I'd imagine it's about the same as it was a couple months ago. But once the new Agramon gets released, I'm sure it'll change quite a bit, the dynamics of the game, so just have to see about that. Yeah, I don't know, I haven't really... I was doing probably like 2-3 hours ago, and it was pretty solid action. Wasn't great, but it was pretty good. And Carol, is the RP bonus gone now? It kind of seemed like I was getting less RPs.
I think it goes tomorrow.
Oh, okay, so it's still on today.
Like it'll last through tonight, so it might go tomorrow.
Okay, cool.
Tuesday, you might get another day out of it.
Nice, well that's exciting.
You get the tonight out of it anyway.
Good, good. Well, alright guys, well thank you for joining me for the night podcast. It's been a good time. I had fun answering all your questions and talking about some discussion points with you. Next week, who's doing...
If you want to do a time code giveaway, you can.
Yeah, it's fine with me.
Well, actually, it's up to you. You can decide whether or not to deserve it.
Yeah, I like time code giveaways. Let's do it. Let me get the stream going. Let's see, monitor capture. Let's do this one, maybe. Oh, that didn't work out like I wanted it to. Second.
Oh my god, it's Inception.
Sorry. Okay, time code giveaway. How to do this? That button, I think. Streamception. Okay, let's see. Where do I enter my keyword? Right here. Okay, the keyword is going to be !DAOC. So type !! DAOC, and you'll be entered to win a time card. I'll probably let it go for, let's see, I don't know, a minute or so. I'll let you know when the timer is about to go down. Got about 30 seconds or so.
Oh, that is so
Chelsea.
mean, Rick.
Alright guys, about 10 seconds. I'll do a countdown on the stream chat from 5, Alright, let's roll. Hope it's Nate Bruner.
I see, kills you and gets a reward.
Yeah, I hope so. Why is it, what's it doing? Tincture 01, congratulations. So just message Carol
Ooh,
on...
tincture here. Just make sure they're here. Say something in chat.
Are you here, Tincture?
Yay! Okay, yeah, send me, not a whisper now, but a private message on Twitch for your time code to Yay Carol.
Good deal. Congratulations there on the time card. Okay, guys, I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up. Thanks for joining me tonight. Congratulations on the time card. Keep an eye out on the Herald, and if you'd like to watch this from the beginning, you can go to our past broadcast on the Twitch, or the DAOC Twitch page. Carol will probably have a VOD of this tomorrow up on the YouTube page for DAOC.
Yep.
Yep. Alright, guys, thank you for coming out and joining me. Thanks for